All right. Hello. How are you? Happy Thursday. Please come in and let's have a moment to just gather ourselves. I am exhausted, but we are here together. I'm exhausted, but we are here together. How's everybody doing? All right. All right. Good sis, sweet aces silhouette. Hey, girl. Sleepy B, hey girl. CS, hey boo. Sexy RN, hey boo. Hey, Lunar Brain Fire Heart. I love that. You say, oh my God, hey Q, YouTube put you back in my algorithm. Listen, the algorithms are doing what they do. So, just go ahead and come over here and click on things and look around every now and then so that you don't miss my content if you are interested in such. And I believe that you are. So yeah, this is listen, everything is things change is constant, right? Change is constant. But this week has been one of change, definitely for myself, for many others, right? Change is good, sometimes change is painful, right? But change is what it is. So I will definitely say that before we get into today's stream about the Cancer ingress of 2026, before we get into that, or maybe afterward, I would definitely suggest people to please view the last like two or three live streams that I've had, like with the dowsing rods, because I think that some of what we're going to discuss today as it pertains to this ingress are some things that were talked about over the past couple of live streams with the dowsing rods, right? And I found it so interesting that everyone voted. Well, those who voted today voted to have the astrology stream versus the dowsing rods and tarot reading stream, right? So I found that very interesting. But to me, that says that people are here and they need the information, right? And that's good. We are here to share information and collaborate as a community. Yeah, it's very, very weird. It's very, very weird. I'm glad you're sub. Thank you for being here. Hey, Smith and Wesson. Hey, Boo. How are you doing? I hope you are doing good. Yes, welcome, Culture Read. Please come in. Please come in. So I have my notes, right? I have my notes. I still enjoy the tactile sensation of writing with pen and paper. So if you hear my little rufflings, like I have my notes, I have notes everywhere. I have notes on my computer. I have notes that I have written down, right? But we're going to talk about some things today. So, let me just make sure everything is set up. Okay, let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this. Close this. Because y'all know I always have like 5 million different things open on my laptop at any given time. Because I'm that person with like 4 browsers and like 20 tabs in each browser. Because I don't like to miss things, right? I don't like to miss things. So, okay. So let me just go ahead and bring our chart in so we can take a good look at it. But yes, hey everybody. And today we are going to be discussing the Cancer ingress of 2026. What does that mean? That means that we're going to be discussing the energies on the day that the sun changes signs and moves from Gemini into Cancer. When the sun in astrology, when the sun moves into a cardinal sign, that is when we look at the ingress, right? because the cardinal signs are the signs that initiate things, they kick off things. So when we're looking at the ingress charts, these are going to be the energies that will be imprinted for a variable amount of time until like the next major ingress, right? So this is what we're going to be looking at. If you're unsure of what I'm talking about, just please go back and watch my previous two ingress videos, the Capricorn ingress of December 2025, and then we had the Aries ingress, which a lot of shit started popping off with the Aries ingress of 2026. So now we're just moving along to the cardinal sign of Cancer. And the ingresses in astrology, as well as in nature, as well as in magic, I keep telling you all of these things are intertwined. Nature, the sciences, magic, these things are intertwined because at the cardinal ingresses of Aries, Cancer, okay, Libra, and then Capricorn, this is when we have the change of the seasons, okay? So this is also why this energy is very, very important because it marks the changing periods, energetic changing periods, major energetic changing periods. So let me bring my chart in. Let me bring my chart in. Our chart in. Hey, Natasha, how are you doing, boo? Hey, Empress. Hey, girl, how you doing? Okay. All right. Please come in. Please like and describe. Like and describe, as our buddy old pal Dre would say. Okay. So, all right. So looking here at the chart, I just want you all to take an overall look at the chart. And I want you all to kind of look at where things are concentrated. Okay. It seems like there's a lot going on. There is a lot going on. Excuse me. But I'm going to explain a lot of what is going on and we can have a discussion about it. So let me start here. So let me make sure everyone can see. Okay, perfect. I have to move the chart up. So I can't see what you all are saying in the chat because I have to look at the chart as well. Okay, so nope, we're not doing that. Okay, so let me just stretch it out a little bit so it can be a little bit better. Okay, so everyone can see. Okay, perfect. All right. So the 2026 Cancer ingress, aka the summer solstice here in the United States of America, here in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, so it's going to be winter in the Southern Hemisphere. Okay, it is going to occur on June 21st, 2026 at 4:24 a.m. in the morning. Okay, and I have this chart set for Washington, D.C., because I am talking about this chart in relation to the United States. And when we are doing that, you set that for the capital of the country that you're talking about. Our nation's capital is Washington, D.C. Okay, so at 4:24 a.m., this makes this a night chart. Why is this a night chart? Because the sun has not risen above the horizon. Okay, so when we're talking about directions here, the ascendant, this is the easternmost horizon. This is west, right? The sun has not risen in the east yet. So this is a night chart. The sun is below the ascendant, below the horizontal line. This is a night chart. It's morning. It's morning in the sense of, now it's getting so light. It's light outside at 5:30 in the morning. So this might be kind of like daybreakish, and we can see not too far from that. But I'm going to treat this as a night chart. So the sun, as we can see, has moved into Cancer, 0 degrees, 0 minutes. This is going to be on June 21st, 2026. So again, this is the Cancer ingress. The sun has now moved into Cancer. So right off the bat, the sun is in Cancer. The moon is here in Virgo. Uh-huh. Here in Virgo. And then we have the ascendant in Gemini. Okay. So we have Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon, Gemini Ascendant. Okay. So this is a chart with a lot of energy that is air, water, and earth. Okay. So this is the night chart. So the most positive planet for a night chart is Venus. And we have Venus here in the third house of the United States, Washington, D.C. We have Venus here. The most malefic planet for a night chart is Saturn. Okay. And Saturn is in Aries here at 13 degrees. Now, again, this is an ingress chart. So we check the modality of the ascendant. Okay. Is this ascendant in a cardinal sign? Is it in a mutable sign? Is it in a fixed sign? The ascendant at 9 degrees of Gemini, this is a mutable air sign. Okay. Mutable air sign. And because it's a mutable air sign, the energies from this chart will last about 6 months. So this chart occurs June 21st, 2026. The energies in this chart have the potential to stay around for 6 months. For 6 months. So that will be leading us into part of the autumnal equinox, okay, when the sun moves into Libra and moving into the winter solstice. Okay, so 6 months. It has the potential to stay around for 6 months. Okay, so the ascendant is in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. So the chart ruler for this chart, okay, the ruler of the ascendant is the chart ruler, is Mercury. Mercury is in Cancer. Mercury is also in the same sign conjunction, okay, a same sign conjunction with the sun and moving to apply to a conjunction with Jupiter. If all this sounds like gibberish, that's fine. I'm just going to talk about the general energies as we get to these various sections, right? So, I want to say something about this chart. So, in astrology, there are so many things that you can look at that you can apply when you are interpreting horoscopes. I want to say that I think it's important for us to think about this chart being this is a bucket chart. Why is this a bucket chart? We see the planets. The planets are in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The planets are across 6. So this line right here. So we have all the planets for this chart right here. So this is the bucket. The lone planet that is outside of all the other planets is Pluto in Aquarius. So you could think of Pluto in Aquarius as the bucket handle. So Pluto in Aquarius is definitely going to have something to do with this chart because this is what is going to be carrying all of this. So when we're talking about Pluto as a planet, we're talking about power, we're talking about transformation, we're talking about descent into the underworld, we're talking about things being broken down so that they can be reborn, so death and rebirth. We're talking about a lot of those things in the sign of Aquarius, which Aquarius is an air sign. It's ruled by Saturn. So Saturn, we have our themes of foundations, of systems, structures, right? Things like that. The earth, the ground, things like that. So as well as when we're talking about Aquarius, we're talking about people as well, the society, the collective, right? So all these things, Pluto and Aquarius, these things are going to matter as it pertains to this chart. Okay. How things may play out for you, I don't know because I don't have your chart. I'm just speaking in general in terms of energies that have the potential to play out for us here in the United States of America. Okay? Got it. Got it. Good. Okay. So we have a small concentration of cardinal energy. Remember, cardinal energy is the energy that starts things. Where do we have this concentration of cardinal energy? We have it here in the second house. Okay. We have it here in the second house. Why do we have this concentration of energy here in the cardinal sign of Cancer? Well, because we have three planets here. Okay. Not only do we have three planets here, we have three classical traditional planets in astrology, right? So we have Jupiter, we have Mercury, we have the Sun. So we have this will what would be called a stellium, right? We only have one planet here in the first house, one planet in the 12th house. We have two here in the 11th house, one planet in the ninth house, one planet here in the fourth house, and then we have one planet in the third. So our concentration of energy as far as in a house in a sign is cardinal energy, which is absolutely important because this is the cardinal ingress. Okay, is everyone with me so far? I hope this isn't sounding like mumbo jumbo. I hope it isn't sounding like mumbo jumbo. But we're here together. Okay, all right. Let me say hi. I'm checking the chat real quick. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Isis. Okay, everybody got it. Okay, good. Now, moving right along. So in this chart, so if we look at the angles, there are angular houses in astrology. It's the first, the seventh, the fourth, and the 10th. So I find it very interesting that Uranus is here in the first house. This is sitting on top of the ascendant. So Uranus is our planet of, I mean, honestly, I see Uranus as a wild card. I often see Uranus as a planet. I tend to look at Uranus as a malefic because things that are often sudden and come out of the blue, sometimes it's good, like a surprise party, or it could be like, surprise, surprise, you just got a new bill in the mail that just came out of nowhere, right? Something new for you to deal with. Uranus is here in the first house in Gemini. I see this as, this is angular. So the sudden, chaotic, earth-shattering, coming out of nowhere, surprises, that type of energy is baked into this chart. So do not be surprised between, the time of this chart, which is June 21st, all the way into December, we get some surprise. We get surprise news. And I'm speaking generally for the United States. We get some surprise news because Uranus is in Gemini. Uranus is going to be here in Gemini for a while. Okay. Going to be here in Gemini for a while. So, surprise. So this is bringing up also energies from the founding of the United States of America, because Uranus was in Gemini in 1776 when the United States was founded. World War II, right? This is we have to see how this is going to play out as it pertains to one president, Donald J. Trump, because he is part of the destiny, the fate, the legacy of the United States of America, be it good or bad. He is tied to the United States because he was born around that time. He has natal Uranus in Gemini as well. So he's tied to this as well. Okay. So I'm seeing this as surprise, something that comes out of the blue. News, event stories that come out of the blue that can be world shattering, earth shaking. I wouldn't be surprised if we see more earthquakes that are kind of, I don't want to say kind of bad, but if we see some earthquakes, like, okay, some 5-pointers, some 6-pointers, it wouldn't surprise me. Not here for the United States, but just speaking generally. But yeah, so Uranus is here in Gemini. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the planet of communication, the planet of internet, the planet of like technology, the planet of commerce. Okay, so trading, commerce, right? This is the chart ruler. So I think we're gonna have more conversations, um, more news stories, more conversations about technology. I also think there are going to be more conversations about the stock market and the economy, right? Because Mercury is commerce. I think we're going to have more of that as well. More news about the state of housing in the United States. Not only the state of housing, but affordability. Why? Because Uranus is here in Gemini, so that makes the chart ruler Mercury, but Mercury is here in Cancer. Cancer is the sign of the home. Cancer is the sign of family, what it takes to support a family. Okay, foundational roots, right? Um, those things. And Mercury is here in the second house, right? Mercury is here in the second house along with the sun. So I think there's going to be some illumination, more eyes looking at the state of things, the state of the economic status of the United States. Because the second house is also, values, wealth, things that we possess, our actual possessions, um, material possessions, money, income, um, personal freedom that is tied to your finances, right? We kind of talked about that yesterday on the stream. If you were there, we kind of talked about should Black people leave the United States of America, and Spirit said if you have the money to leave, and you want to leave, you should do so, right? So this is good. I think we're going to have more illuminations as it pertains to what is the state of the economy. Can we truly afford things at home? We can't afford to rent. We can't afford to buy homes. And I'm just speaking in general, right? Because everyone's situation is different. I'm not counting anyone's pockets. What is going, like, we're gonna have, they're gonna be much more light, much more visual light. I think tuned into this, tuned into those things, being conversations. I think we're going to see more and more of that either on mainstream news channels, news media, or even via the conversations on social media, depending on what social media platform you are on, right? I think we're also going to have or see more of a light being shown on leadership and what is leadership doing or not doing to try to fix this situation for the citizens, right? Because the sun, okay, the sun represents leadership, power, and authority, right? The moon is the people, the little people, right? The average everyday person, right? So I think we're going to see more and more news articles and whatnot questioning, saying, asking what's going on, what can you do? Um, what can you do as a person? Um, what can you do as a person to make it, right? There are some people in this country that are living just fine. There are some people who are really out here hurting financially. And what happens for those people, right? Because it's not always about we'll just save more money or cut something out when inflation is whatever percentage inflation is as opposed to last year, especially when it comes to groceries and energy costs, right? Groceries and energy costs, things that we don't control. Okay. You can cut out eating out, you can cut out driving where you don't necessarily have to go, but you are not controlling the price at the gas pump. You yourself as a person, you are not controlling what the prices are at the grocery stores, right? So I think we're going to see more and more news stories. What is leadership? What are leadership's plans to deal with this, to combat this, to help people, housing, inflation, all those things. Now, I think, and the reason I think there are going to be so much more of it, not just an illumination of it, but I think it's going to be so much more of it because we have Mercury at 23 degrees of Cancer, applying to, moving towards a conjunction, with Jupiter. Jupiter expands. Jupiter expands everything that it touches. Okay, Jupiter is not just about abundance. Abundance in the terms of Jupiter will just give you more. It doesn't necessarily mean money, but Jupiter will give you more. Jupiter will big your back. Jupiter will give you a bunch of extra rocks. Jupiter will give you extra bills. Okay. It's not just about money. right? So I think that because Mercury is moving towards an exact conjunction with Jupiter, I think, this is close enough. This is a 5-degree orb. I think we're going to see more and more news stories about it. People are going to be more and more vocal about it, right? Especially as it pertains to home and the United States of America, right? So, okay. Um Another thing I want to talk about is yeah. So, Jupiter is in Cancer, right? Jupiter has like a 1 year cycle of Jupiter staying in the sign. Jupiter has been in Cancer since last year. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, which means Jupiter can express itself and do all the good things that it wants to do, that it has to do, can do everything that it needs to do in Cancer. But look at where Jupiter is. Okay. Jupiter's at 28 degrees. The last degree is the 29th degree, the anaretic. So Jupiter is almost anaretic here. Jupiter, I have to say, has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Jupiter, I think, has been doing a lot of heavy lifting over the past year. And what do I mean by that? Heavy lifting, as in trying to keep things together, trying to keep things together as much as possible, because Jupiter is considered one of the two classical benefics, one of the two quote unquote good planets or helpful planets, right? The two benefics are Jupiter and Venus, right? So, Jupiter's been doing a lot of heavy lifting. hmm Jupiter has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. And even though this is not Jupiter outside of Cancer, Jupiter is at the tail end of this. I think that as time moves forward, okay, so I think by the time we get to Jupiter moving into Leo, um, yeah, Jupiter doesn't have a problem in Leo, but I think we're going to start to see the tide starting to change as far as the energetic field, right? Because it's been, those of you who are able to participate in investing in the stock market, depending on how you've invested, you've been getting that money, right? You've been getting that money. I think things are going to start to change. I think things are going to start to change because Jupiter is almost out of its exaltation at the time of this chart. Okay? I really think so. It's possible. Kevin says, "Hey Q, is the Cancer ingress also giving light to the formation of the CBDC and social credit score, since it refers to the idea of wealth?" It's absolutely possible, especially because it's possible because so Uranus in Gemini. So Uranus, we're talking about technological advancements. Um, Technological advancements. CBDC is digital, tokenization, digital currency, things like that. In Gemini, which is a technology commerce type sign. You said social credit. Gemini is a social sign, and the ruler of Gemini is Mercury. Okay, the second house of wealth, values, monetary values, possessions, things that people own, the values of things, the monetary values of things. It's quite possible. It's quite possible. Um, we're just talking in themes, but it's quite possible. Matter of fact, I was just listening to a stream on Twitter from the other day where it was a conversation about, and I'll tell you exactly what it was. Um, Give me 1 second. I will tell you exactly what the conversation was. So the conversation was um, new monetary system. Um, and that was on May 27th. I also was listening to a conversation from May 30th about data centers, AI wars, new world order, the energy dollar. So, and that was on May 30th. Okay, so less than a month out from this chart, right? So we're seeing the conversation, the saxophones are getting louder. Okay, everybody know what I'm talking about? Okay. The saxophones getting louder. Baby, you in danger. Yeah. So I think I'm starting to see more and more of those conversations coming up because I myself didn't know anything about the Genius Act before maybe like 6 months ago. So I'm finding out there are a lot of people that are finding these things out, understanding who's buying into these things and all like that. So it's absolutely possible, Kevin. It's absolutely possible. Hey, hi Vibe. How you doing? I hope you're doing good. Okay. So, and let me see something. Like, and it's so funny because like earlier today, Mr. Hoodoo was sending me he sent me an article earlier today. And I may have to pull it up just so you all can see. But the article that he sent me was earlier today, and it says top CEOs are bracing for a downturn and warn that the US economy may get worse in the next 6 months. This is an article published June 3rd, 2026. Okay. So, are the saxophones getting louder? I'll let you decide that because you know your individual life and you know your individual circumstances. But yeah, talking about, the GDP has only risen 0.5%. That's under the target estimation of the GDP rising 0.7%. That says a lot. Okay. That says a lot. Matter of fact, Mr. Hoodoo just sent me an article. What does this article say that he just sent me? He literally just texted to me. Um, Talking about AI data center contracts and governance shift. Because right now this economy is being held together by AI, right? So if we're talking about things suddenly changing in the realm of the internet stuff, which is AI, internet stuff, technology, that commerce and stuff. Are the saxophones getting louder? That's up for you to decide, right? So again, if you are someone that has had the blessing to be able to participate in the stock market of the United States and you've been making money, now you're starting to see quote unquote the whales, right? The whales getting cash heavy, selling things off, getting cash heavy. We've seen the market manipulations, right? Like I said, I think Jupiter has been doing a lot of heavy lifting over the past year. Jupiter is about to leave Cancer and move into Leo. And I think a lot of that heavy lifting is going to start to go by the wayside. Hold on one second. So yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Hoodoo had just sent me an article about one of the stocks that we invest in. So yeah, so you have to decide if the saxophones are getting louder for you. I can't tell you. I'm just talking about general information. Now, I think more and more people are going to start to come to heavy emotional terms with what's going on. Um I think more than the people who have come to terms with things now, I think there are going to be more people who come to terms with the state of things here financially in the United States of America. I think people are going to start to intuit what's really going on. Okay. Again, we're talking about Mercury is in Cancer. Cancer is an emotional sign. So, emotional thought processes, um, intuitive feelings, intuitive hunchings about things going on here in the second house. Okay. Whatever hope people may have had may be starting to wane, starting to dwindle, right? Right. It's definitely a possibility. More emotional news, things that are sobering news, sobering conversations. Conversations that may also be heated somewhat heated and charged. Why? Because Mercury is sextiling Mars in Taurus. Okay. So Mars is our planet of aggression, our planet of anger, our planet of war, our planet of action, our planet of harm, violence, cutting, severing, a planet of danger, right? A planet of danger, right? This has the potential to we may see more heated conversations about this. We may see more and more heated conversations about this, especially because Mars doesn't like to be in Taurus. Mars does not like to be in Taurus. Okay. Mars is a detriment. Mars is exiled. Mars can't do what it needs to do or do what it wants to do because we have opposing energies here. So yeah, I think it's gonna be definitely pay attention to conversations, flare ups, as we move forward from this solstice, as we move forward from it. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so going back to the sun is in Cancer. Again, Cancer is a cardinal sign, which means it initiates things. Um, yeah, Cancer is about the home, family, emotions, children, foundations. The energy this summer is going to be focused on that. I just want to reiterate that because, especially with the children being out of school, I think that energetically this year is similar to last year, but I think it's a little bit, I would say, worse because of the inflation. When a package of ground beef, say for example, is now $30, but it was $18 last year, that's a problem. That's also a problem for people who have children who are barely making it. Okay. So I think the energy this summer is going to be focused on that. Um, yeah, just the value of things, affordability. What leadership is or is not doing about it. Okay. What is leadership doing about it? Are they doing anything at all? Are you contacting your, or should, if you're a political person and you're part of a political process, you might feel like you need to start a, I don't know, a campaign or contact your senator and congressman. I don't know. But I think we're going to have more and more conversations, more and more conversations about that. Um, yeah. Yeah, Jupiter is doing its best, but Jupiter ain't gonna be doing all that no more. Okay, so get ready for the vibe shift. Get ready for the vibe shift. Yeah, hold on one second. Let me see. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Hoodoo. It's just like, yeah, so they saying that they might not be able to. It looks good on paper, but the foundation isn't as strong. He literally just texted me that. Um, talking about some of the stock that we're invested in. So now the conversations are, even some of the stock news that we follow about, okay, this used to look good, but maybe it really isn't as good anymore. So even that sentiment is starting to change. And I'm talking about a stock that has performed really, really well. I'm not going to tell you the stock. Um, Not because I'm gatekeeping, but because this stock is personal for us, right? It would kind of be like us me doxing myself. I'm not gonna dox myself or dox us, but just understand there are some stocks out here that we're doing really, really good. And now the quote unquote economic experts, the stock market experts, are starting to question things. Right. So yeah, so the tides I think are changing. And I think that, I don't know if you all remember when I talked about The potential for the economy to do something weird, the potential for a stock market crash, the potential for the wheels to fall off of the barrel. Yeah, go ahead and look right here in the 12th house. Chiron is in Taurus. Now remember, if you go back to that stream, I talked about there are some varying astrological signatures aligned with recessions and stock market crashes. One of those was a lot of times when Chiron was in Taurus, there was like a recession. Do we not see that Chiron is in Taurus at the time of the ingress chart? The other one, so there were three indicators. It was Chiron in Taurus, um, Jupiter in an earth sign, and Saturn in Taurus. So we have the first of the three potentials for something weird to go on here with the economy. The first of the three, so we already have this one. We're still way over a year out, more than a year before Jupiter moves into Virgo because Jupiter has to move through Leo first. But Saturn takes a while. So by the time we get to 2027, like mid 2027, things have the potential to be cutting up economy wise, recession wise. So that's why I say, like, I think we still have some time. But like I said, Jupiter has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting over the past year. Jupiter has been doing a lot of the heavy lifting over the past year, especially, right? Especially as it pertains to home. And we have to remember the United States of America, is a Cancer sun sign. So some of this energy is going to imprint itself on the solar return for the United States. Some of it won't. But remember, the United States is a Cancer sun. July 4th is still when the sun is in Cancer. So with Jupiter being in Cancer over the past year, Jupiter has been exalted, doing a lot of heavy lifting, doing a lot of work to negate some things that could have been impacting us even more negatively, right? Okay. Now, okay, let me just check the chat. Because I have not been looking at the chat. Let me check and see what's going on here. Thank you so much, Natasha. Natasha says, get your spiritual readings here. Thank you so much, Boo. Kevin says, Natasha says, if you go on E-Trade, they will give you the news and stories about individual stocks, and it's very reliable information. I would agree. And now, Natasha, you can kind of see some of those sentiments starting to change, right? You can see some of those sentiments starting to change as it pertains to the economy and stocks. Like, you can see some of those things start to change. Kevin says, I hate to say it, but the US has the signs of a toxic cancer with how it handles things with other nations. Listen, it's not necessarily cancer, how the United States handles things with other nations. The United States has Mars in the 7th house, the planet that likes to fight and tussle in the house of relationships with other people. So it's not necessarily the cancer. It's the Mars and Uranus in the 7th house of the United States Sibley chart. That is the problem. This is why we always beefing with other nations. Not necessarily Cancer Sun, just Mars and Uranus in the 7th house of the United States at the date of its founding. So, astrology be astrology, right? Astrology be astrology, right? So now I want us to look here. So if you look at the 3rd house and the 9th house, right, we can see this opposition going on. So we have Pluto in Aquarius. Pluto is retrograde at the time of this event. Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius. Opposites Venus and Leo. Now, for some people, this is going to be a time of creativity, right? A time of creativity. You might be feeling yourself with Venus and Leo, but this opposition, I really feel like this is the push and pull of what's being done for the collective. There are going to be people that talk about their individual pursuits, but people who aren't doing so well don't want to hear about the beautiful things of the individual pursuits. They are going to want to hear what the hell is being done for the rest of us. Okay. So I think we might see more and more. We don't care what them damn celebrities are doing. We don't give a damn because they're fine. I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see more of that over this summer because yeah, there are going to be some people who are going to be fine. But the masses, the collective of people who are not fine, right? Are going to be asking what is going on. And this is occurring here in the ninth house, okay? So Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius in the ninth house. So, growth of society, things that are multi-generational, okay? People who are having to, now the children live at home with the parents and then the grandparent is moving in because it's more economical that way. Do they necessarily want to do it? No. Are they having to do it? Yes. So multi-generational, okay? People searching for the truth. The public, the collective searching for the truth as it pertains to what the hell is going on, okay? So, searching for truth, what is the ethics of this? What the hell is going on? I think we're going to have more and more of those conversations, and the people who aren't doing so well with no fault of their own aren't going to give a damn about the celeb shit, about the people who, and it's going to be sad because people who really just want to share things, share good things with the world, um share something nice that happened to them, the masses aren't going to care because they're going to be like, we don't care about your vacation because we can't even afford to go on vacation. We can't afford to leave, or I don't have the time to take off because whatever. I think we're going to see more of that. I think we're going to see more of that. Now, this right here, looking at this right here, I don't want to say it threw me for a loop, but looking at the moon in Virgo, I think I think we may have the conversations about or see the conversations about food and food shortages. And I hate to say that, but I'm not going to sit here and lie to you either. I don't I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna pretend that everything is sweet because we see the I'm not gonna pretend that everything is sweet because we see the inflation. We see the inflation, right? We see the less affordability and the conversations about the Strait of Hormuz and the fertilizer. I saw a conversation earlier talking about, okay, what's going on with the food crisis, food shortage. Um, I've seen conversations about El Nino. The El Nino weather pattern could trigger a global food price shock. That was from Reuters a day ago. Um, how the farmers, um, supply chain issues, supply chain issues. Supply chain issues compacted by fertilizer shortages because of the Strait of Hormuz business, which is going to cause more and more inflation for the food at the grocery store. This is why, over the past, Kevin asked the question yesterday. I think Kevin asked the question back in either February or March. What can people who can't leave do? Get your community together. That means community organizing, community gardening, uh, food. Okay. Food. Okay. Food production due to the issue Strait of Hormuz. Okay. Grocery prices rising. Okay. Issues with grain, and even more so because if we're talking about the moon, so this is the common people, right? The common people every day. Virgo is virgin, but Virgo is also the sign of Virgo is also aligned to grain, wheat, right? So this here, this here, and then look at it here. The moon is 23 degrees in Virgo in a trine. A trine just means 120 degrees. Okay, so this is geometry. So moon, so 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We counted 4 houses over. 4 times 30, 30. We know that's 120 degrees. So conversations about not being able to pass go, erratic as it pertains to food. Okay, because this is Taurus. Taurus is the earth, gardening. So we have conversations, possibly some food fights, possibly shit going down in the grocery store. This here. hmm it's a possibility. It is a possibility. And notice this here, Mercury at 23 degrees of Cancer. So talking, communication, commerce, the internet, in the sign of home, family, children, where you live, in a sextile. Okay, another ease flowing energy aspect. And then people talking about it again. Okay. But I think this is going to bring people, I don't want to say to a breaking point, but the moon is in Virgo. Virgo is a mutable earth sign. So it's just like, what is it can we do? I think it's going to be some people getting to that breaking point. Okay. So they're going to be talking about it here. And then we got this energy. This is just it's flowing to each other. This is flowing to here, this is flowing to here, this is flowing to here. Okay. We have Saturn and Neptune still in the same sign conjunction in Aries. The thing about this is, yes, it's Saturn is separating, but they're still, it's the same sign conjunction. It's like, so when there's a conjunction, it's like you sitting directly next to the person on the couch. A direct conjunction, right? But if you're in the same sign conjunction, it's like, okay, so one of you is upstairs at home, the other person is downstairs. You're still in the same house. The energy still has the ability to affect each other, for y'all to affect each other, even though y'all not next to each other. So we still have the same sign conjunction of Neptune and Saturn here in Aries, even though the conjunction has separated, but they're still in the same house. This is important because Saturn is in Aries. Saturn is structure. Okay, so the structures are breaking down. Structures are breaking down. And then we have this. We still have Neptune in Aries. So I think what we're starting to see is a lot of people waking up, because when we had the Saturn Neptune conjunction, and when they were moving towards that conjunction over like the past year and a half to that conjunction, things were getting real cloudy. People couldn't tell what was AI, what wasn't AI. Now people are just like, okay, I see this is AI. The fogginess, the brain cloud is lifting. And see, this is here in the 11th house. So the 11th house is absolutely the collective. The 11th house is the groups of people, humanitarian causes, right? Um, where people, large groups of people, right? Whether it's at work, whether it's people that you like, go to the gym with, whatever, whatever, whatever. But people are starting to wake up. I think people are starting to wake up overall to what's really going on in this country. I see that as evidence. A lot of the people who were MAGA are waking up. Now, you know, you couldn't tell MAGA a damn thing, okay, 2024 and all last year, a lot of last year, you couldn't tell MAGA shit. They were diehard MAGA, which is their right to do so. I see the website, I left MAGA, leaving MAGA. Some people that I follow on Twitter because I like to be nosy and see what they're talking about. All them people on Twitter that I listen to, actual people, because they are in spaces. I voted for him. I couldn't believe I didn't see this. I'm so sorry. I messed. The veil is lifting. So we have, and this again, this chart is set for Washington D.C. So the people are waking up. There are people who were never mesmerized by it, but people are waking up to the state of the political and economic shit going on in this country just overall, especially the MAGAs. People are waking up to a lot of different things. Even the United States interactions with that one country, with that one country, and you know which country I'm talking about, right? So people are waking up. So this is like the energetic imprint of from this solstice from June 21st, 2026 moving forward. Okay? And then look at this here. So we got Neptune in Aries, 4 degrees, in a sextile here. So people are waking up or beginning to wake up and wanting some type of action after they wake up. Okay? Understanding the power dynamics. So Pluto is sextiling Neptune. And then Neptune is sextiling Uranus. Uranus is at 3 degrees of Gemini, right? So we have these and it's funny because we have this is a small talent triangle. This isn't a grand trine. A grand trine will be a big blue triangle. But this is a small triangle. It's called a talent triangle. So we have this energy imprinted as well. So Pluto at 5 degrees in fixed sign. Okay. Pluto at 5 degrees. Yes, Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius, but in fixed sign Aquarius. So fixed attention being brought to what the hell is going on with the collective. Okay. Neptune in Aries, cardinal sign. Taurus is a fixed sign. Okay. So we have this triangle going on. Okay. This talent triangle down here, this one is going to change because Mars moves quickly. Mars is a personal planet. It moves quickly. Mercury moves quickly. And then the moon, of course, is our fastest moving celestial planet. The moon changes signs every day to day and a half, every 2 to 2.5 days. So this is going to dissipate. I mean, this is still going to be imprinted on the chart, but this is the one that's going to be here for a while because these are outer planets. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be imprinted here. This is going to be imprinted here. I don't want to say that this is the end of the leadership of the United States, but I did notice the nodes because remember I told you the nodes are going to be changing signs, where the north node is going to be moving into Aquarius and the south node is going to be moving into Leo. But you know, we have King star, leadership star Regulus here, right? King star, leadership star. Current president of the United States of America, Donald Trump, has Regulus in his first house. Okay. I have Regulus in my first house because Trump and I were both Leo ascendants. And it doesn't mean that all Leo ascendants are bad, but Regulus in your first house, that's usually be Not usually. There's a potential for a person to be in leadership positions. And yes, I have served in leadership positions in the past, where I was president of, you know, something that I was involved in. So I have experienced that myself. The leadership, the being in high places. I've experienced that myself. So but I say that to say, look, conjunct the south node, the funnel, the thing that's draining, the south node right here, conjunct Regulus. Okay, the south node conjunct Regulus. Um, yeah, fourth house of foundations, of origins, all of that. Yeah. Uh, this could be the beginning of the end of the leadership of the United States of America as far as a world global power. This is just my thoughts and my feelings on it. I will let you be the judge of all that. I'll let you be the judge of all that. I also want you to notice this square right here. We have a square, right? We have some squaring energy. Mm-hmm. 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 Sun square moon. This is leadership, government opposed to the people. I find it quite interesting that we have this square right here, right? We have this square right here. Um, and Donald Trump's has he's a leader. So the people being opposed, the people being opposed. Mm-hmm. I find it very, very interesting. And I'm not saying it because, oh, I hate Donald Trump. I don't hate Donald Trump. He just is what he is. He's the president and there's nothing I can do about it because he is part of the fate of this country. I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I just don't think he should be the president of the United States. And it's my right to say that. He can do whatever he want, to himself. But I don't he's not leader material. That's just my opinion, but I don't hate the man. Um, so I'm just noticing this square here. Noticing this square here. So yeah, these are the energies that I think um have the potential to manifest and come towards us for this 2026 summer solstice, the summer ingress. Um, you know, yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Let me go back to the comments and see what y'all are saying because I literally was just I was in the zone, so I had to stay in the zone. Okay. So High Vibe says, I feel like we should have never stopped generational living. More of us will be financially stable and less dependent on a W-2. I agree. I agree with that. Generational living, right? Kevin says food shortage and price increase in groceries are already happening. That and fertilizer shortage too. Yeah, it's already happening, but we haven't seen it yet. Like what we have seen is not the monster that it could become. What we have seen is tame compared to what it could be. Right? Um what we have seen is tame compared to what it could be. And let me just pull up this article real quick. Um let me pull up this article real quick. So let me show you. I'm going to let me stop sharing that. Let me pull up this article because I want you all to see this right here. So let me pull this article in so you all can see what I am talking about. Share screen. Okay. Okay. Super El Nino could trigger a global food price shock. Here's how companies can prevent the next crisis. You see that date? That's June 3rd, 2026. The date, let me make it bigger. The date, June 3rd, 2026. And more food recalls. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yes, bugs or not. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, Jupiter son. Hey, boo. How you doing? I mean, it just might. It just might. It just might. It just might. But y'all see this article? This article was from yesterday. Yeah, today's the 4th. This article's from yesterday. Kevin says, now I can clearly see what's AI these days. It's like they're trying to stir up ish with AI just to get us to write or be afraid of something like that. I mean, listen. Jupiter Sun says it's basically fuck around and find out for Mac. I mean, I can show y'all on Twitter the people who are just like, I can't believe I voted for this person. I can't believe I can't, because I be all up in them people business over on Twitter, right? But I'm seeing the conversations and hearing the conversations in real time and how they are pissed and upset at the current president of the United States for they feel like they've been lied to. I think there was just like a mass spell cast over people because believe it or not, them people, leadership, people in power and all like that, oh, they have their spiritual workers and they have their astrologers. Okay. But the spell has been lifted. Okay. Unfortunately, it's going to affect all of us. Even though allegedly the man cheated, but it affects all of us. Can I go out and buy food? Yeah, I can go drop some money on some food right now. Do I want to pay more for food even though I can? No. Do I want to pay in inflationary prices? No, I don't. Do I want to pay more at the gas pump? No, I do not. Can I? Yes. Will it affect me? No. Do I want to? No. Right? Uh-huh. Finally wake up. Yeah, cult. Cult. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what he is. Um, worm food. Kevin says we all see that the American empire is crumbling before our eyes in our pockets. The people are rebelling against leadership. Yeah, you the sun moon square. Uh-huh. That is the people. Let me pull that back on them. So y'all see this article, right? Before I pull the chart back up. Well, I pull the chart back up. Okay, look at this barren field. The crops ain't cropping. Okay. Warning, El Nino event could be the worst yet, compounded by fertilizer shortages, inflation, and rising oil prices. These shocks threaten to push an already fragile food industry to the brink, and the impact will land squarely in consumers' shopping baskets. Okay? So, like I said, the date of this article was yesterday. Okay? So I showed you that just so you all can understand. Share screen. Let me bring the chart back up. So Kevin says the people rebelling against the leadership. Uh-huh. Son. Follow this red line here. Square. Moon. People rebelling. Leadership and the people are at odds. Okay. High Vibe says, I go to Whole Foods often and the shelves look sparse and the produce. They are literally selling 3 full collard green leaves for almost $4. So I share this information with you all so you all can make the best decisions for yourself and for your families. I am not here to fearmonger. I am not here for any of that. I live in reality, you live in reality, and you can create your reality with magic. But I'm just showing you all the energies. This is not to fearmonger. This is so you all can know what's up and know the what's up so you can make the best decisions for yourself and for your families, the people that you care about. Okay? Okay, I will drop the link for a moment in case anyone wants to share or talk or, make a comment. I will drop the link for a moment in case anybody wants to come up. Kevin says, it's not fear mongering if the facts are proving what's been said. I would agree with you there, sir. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. So, let me show you the article that let me show you the article that Mr. Hoodoo sent me earlier today because where was this at? Let me see. Let me type it in real quick. Let me type it in. Top CEOs are bracing for a downturn and warn. Okay. Okay. So, I don't want to turn off my ad blocker for y'all. No. Ooh. Ugh. Anyway, I will put this article here in the stream in case people want to click on it themselves. Ugh, I ain't turning off my ad blocker. Okay. Um, but that is it. So you can see the article there in the chat. Top CEOs brace downturn warn US economy worsen in the next 6 months. 6 months from now, it's December. Mm-hmm. Part of this, as far as the, when I'm talking about the potential for a bad economy, the potential for a recession, the potential for these things that I talked about. Okay. But that's it in case people want to, mm, you know. mm. Okay, Kevin says, and I say we're still heading for a hard reset in the country, which will require an economic depression like the one in 1929. But those are just my thoughts. I agree, Kevin. And part of the energy that we are looking at as astrologers, we're also looking at the 100-year cycle of the stock market crash of 1929. Remember when I showed you all? Remember when I showed you all the quote unquote the writing on the wall? October 29th, 2025. What was it? Nvidia had reached like $5 trillion in valuation. October 29th, 1929. October 29th, 2025. The same damn date with some of the same astrological energies. Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Hey, Candy. Jupiter Sun says, I work in HR, and the stories and tears I see during video interviews is heartbreaking. Folks are really suffering. Yeah, people are really suffering. People absolutely are really suffering. People are suffering out here, and my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to them. Um, volunteer in your food banks if you can. Donate food to your food banks if you can. Check in on your elderly neighbors and people who are vulnerable if you can. Help them out if you can. This is why I said community is going to be needed. Community is going to absolutely be needed. Community is going to be needed. Absolutely. Absolutely. So even where I live, we're renting right now because we are getting our financial ducks in a row. We're renting, but even where we live, like there are times our landlord asked us for the rent early. And I don't say that to put them out. I say that to say that there are people going through a lot of different things and a lot of things financially. And unfortunately, this has the potential to get worse. So, you know, um, what do you all think of this? What do you all think of this? Just sharing my thoughts. Just sharing my thoughts on it. These are my thoughts as far as you know. Um, yeah, these are my thoughts, and I truly think it has the potential to get worse. I don't want it to get worse, but again, sharing the information so you all can do what you need to do. Yeah. Candy Me says I will have to watch replay. Okay, I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, I'm just reading about an earthquake that was in Vegas. So, possible earthquake in Vegas. So, all right, y'all. Well, I dropped the link. No one came up. So, I'm going to get out of here. Just some things for you all to think about as it pertains to this. We still have to watch more news with what's going on with things over there in the Middle East, war, all like that. Um, yeah. Jupiter Sun says, considering other countries we can flee to, saw a lot of people of color thriving in Thailand and Vietnam, although I know there are challenges everywhere. Listen, I saw a video of somebody in Vietnam buying his vegetables and he paid $1.06 United States money. And I was like, oh, really? Oh, really? You have I saw one woman, where she lives. I think her rent was like $500 and it came with like a chef and like housekeeping. I was like, oh, okay. People are really considering it. There are some accounts online that you can follow for more information. I'll have to put a post on my community wall. I'll put a post on my YouTube wall, the accounts that are sharing information about countries people can go to, visas, all like that for people who are considering leaving and for people who have the means to leave. Okay, so many countries in South and Latin America, many Asian countries, and some European countries. Okay. I can only share with you all what they have shared. I'm not here researching, which country. I'm just, I pay attention to all information. Okay. I like to have all information. So I will put the links of people. Now they're either going to be on Instagram or on Threads. Okay. Threads is like Twitter for Instagram. Like your Instagram account is connected to it. So I had to cuss out this one lady yesterday. But besides that, I will put the accounts that I follow on Threads. Threads is free. So you all can see these accounts and follow them and be nosy and see. But yeah, for those of you who are thinking about, okay, I need to get the fuck out, even if it's just for, the economics aren't economic in here for you anymore, is your decision. But please believe there are plenty of people living just fine in other parts of the world. And unless you have traveled outside of the United States and been to different places, you can see how people are living for real. um, a lot of people are another thing, with Saturn and Neptune and Aries, the shield being over people's eyes. A lot of people are waking up to the fact that the United States is damn near a third world country. Because you can talk all the shit that you want to about like Vietnam or Thailand, but they're not paying $50,000 going to the hospital or places where healthcare is free. Or like in Korea, where the entire country has free lunch for the children in school. Or in other countries where when you buy your house, there is no more paying taxes on it. It's yours outright. So I think a lot of people are also waking up to the propaganda and just the spell that's been cast over over people who live in the United States. So, you said you outside watering your potatoes, okra, and beans. Listen, we planted a tomato. We had a tomato that was just sitting out too long and it was starting to sprout in the tomato. So we planted it in a pot. So it's out on the back deck. I need to go put some water in it. But we just want to see. We just want to see what the tomato gonna do. So we planted it. I'm gonna put some water in it. But we're curious. Now I had a garden growing up. We had corn, we had tomatoes, we had greens, we had cabbage, we had what else did we have? We had something else too. And it was real good. So community gardens becoming a thing. Listen, do what you can to, listen, and let me just say something. If you are someone who truly wants to leave the United States, I am not saying this so that you can purchase spiritual services from me. I am saying this because there's a possibility we can do some magic so you can leave the United States if you want to. Okay? I have changed realities and timelines so much doing magic. I know it can be done. So again, this isn't to like, yeah, buy some spiritual work from me or whatever. I say this because you can absolutely change timelines, jump timelines, and get it to where you can truly leave the United States if that's what you want. Or if you know where you want to go and you just need to make sure that the visa gets taken care of, that the visa paperwork get processed and your visa is approved, hit me up for some spiritual work. Hit me up for some spiritual work so we can get your visa to go through. So you can get the fuck out if you want to get the fuck out. And I say this with love, baby. I say it with love. Sleepy B says, we've had to split our rent so we can hold on to some money. We buy from literally every store around us. Yeah, absolutely. Many laws are changing their visa laws for Americans, but it doesn't mean that Americans can't come. Like I've seen some stuff go from, okay, the visa used to be 180 days, now it's down to 90 days. But that just means you could just leave right back out and just come back in. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And as long as you are aware of the laws and stuff like if you know ahead of time, you can plan for things, right? Okay. Yeah, Japan is anti-foreign right now, but Japan is anti-foreign, but I will say that it's still a bunch of people there. That don't mean you got to go to the restaurant, but you can go get you some groceries and be fine in your house by yourself. I mean, look at the United States. The United States is anti-foreign right now. So I want you all to make sure that you are understanding propaganda when you see it. I want you all to understand because please, it's a bunch of people in other countries saying they will never step foot in the United States. Not with this shit going on. Okay? All the Canadians that used to go to Vegas, they ain't going to Vegas no more. This is gonna be real interesting to see what's going on with this with the FIFA World Cup that's supposed to be here. Baby, them hotel rooms is canceled. Them hotel rooms are canceled. The hotels are losing out because people aren't coming here to the United States. Why? Because of the harsh enforcement of laws. I don't have a problem with the United States enforcing immigration laws. If your visa is up and it's time for you to go home, then your visa is up and it's time for you to go home, just like for any other country. I do have a problem with shooting people and harm being done. Okay, because when Obama was president, he got way more people up out of here. He deported a lot of people out here. They weren't doing this. It's inhumane. Inhumane shit, they weren't doing that. At least not publicly. Right? So I'm because baby, when you matter of fact, I'm going to the DR next week. Next Saturday, I will be in the DR. You better believe I got to do my DR entry paperwork. They want to know where am I at, and they want to know when I'm flying back out to the United States. So I don't have a problem with any type of enforcement of their immigration laws or how long you can stay there because it's their country. Same as here as the United States. I do have a problem with inhumane treatment. I love that for you. I love that for you. I love that you got a whole produce department. Amen. And I'm just happy and blessed that where I live, I have a bunch of fresh fruit that grows here. Okay. Mm-hmm. If you want to contact me, yes. So somebody put it here. Jupiter Sun says, how do I contact you? So Sleepy B put my look here, eclectictarot.com. You can schedule a reading, you can schedule a spiritual consultation. So a tarot reading, it's going to be tarot reading answering your questions. A spiritual consultation is what type of spiritual work and magic can we do that you can do to help you alleviate your problem. So that's the difference between the two. Okay. So, yeah, but things are changing. We are citizens of the world. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so Jupiter Sun said, I lie and tell people I'm Canadian when I visit foreign countries. US has a bad reputation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in Japan, they work a lot in Japan. So they work a lot in Japan, but other countries, it's different. A lot of countries will let you a lot of countries demand that you have money in your account so that you're quote unquote not a leech on their country. Or you can have like a work visa, or you can find some remote work and then live in that country doing truly remote work. There are many ways around it, but I will post those links for people who want them. Okay. So yeah, y'all. We will see what the next few months are going to bring us. We will see how correct I am in my interpretation of this summer solstice chart. We will see. We will see if I'm correct. We will see if I was not correct. But just understand things are about to start shaking up and changing. Last month, May was real mid. May was kind of quiet. May was mid, kind of quiet. Things are going to start heating back up. Chiron is moving into Taurus. We have the eclipses in August. Eclipse season is a couple months away. Mercury is going to be going retrograde. Okay. So everybody hold on to your edges because Mercury will be going retrograde very soon. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. This summer, I think is going to be very, very interesting. So hopefully there won't be any false flag events. I have my eye on FIFA World Cup action, especially stuff that's supposed to be happening in LA. I got my eye on it. So, all right, y'all. I dropped the link. No one came up. I want to thank you all for being here with me. Thank you all for what is this? I just be getting weird text messages all the time. What the hell? Yeah. Lord. You see what I'm saying about the surprise, a new bill? Why urgent care just send me some bill of $28? Like, but your insurance company has already been billed. Surprise. I just got a new bill from urgent care. See? It's $28. I'll just pay it if the insurance ain't did nothing with it. But we're gonna see what the summer is gonna be. We're gonna pay attention to all these headlines, the news stories. We're gonna pay attention. I just want all of you all to be safe, take care of yourselves, take care of your loved ones, be blessed. Find community with people you can trust. Okay. I just want y'all to be good. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all very much. I'm gonna see y'all on the flip side.